And the Rainbow Push Coalition calling for an end to this violence. Jackson hosted a 4th of July cookout today at the Concordia Place Apartments on the far south side. Jackson also called on city officials, that includes Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown, to work together to find a solution.
Stop being important and begin to embrace each other.
Jesse told him, stop pointing fingers and embrace each other. Wow. Jesse, basically on his last limb. On his last limb. Telling Sun people, get your act together. Jesse. Wow. I mean, this is a blast from the past. When I grew up, Jesse Jackson was the preeminent, even bigger than Sharpton back in the day. Sharpton was pretty big, but Jesse ran for president. He made a legitimate run for the Democratic nomination. He lost to Michael Dukakis. Shows you how far we've come. Nowadays, Jesse would have beat Michael Dukakis. Michael Dukakis was a chump. He only won because, like, it was a joke. Like, every comedian, how many of y'all grew up in the 80s, in the 90s? Every comedian had a bit in their routine where they talked about what it would be like if a black person was president. It was always a joke. It was a joke when Jesse ran, and I think it was 84 and 88 he ran. He lost to two chumps. I mean, straight chumps. I'm talking about people that, like, if it was now, it wouldn't have went like that. But he paved the way. Great man. Love him some women. Him and Martin was slanging that wood all over the South back in the day. But they was rock stars. And they couldn't stay in hotels because of segregation, so they had to stay with families. Back in those days, even baseball players and basketball players, the white players would stay in the hotel, and the black players would stay with a family in the town. They would have different families. You'd have to, that would, offer to let the black players stay there because they couldn't stay in the hotels. So Martin and Jesse was slanging wood all over the South. But they fought for something real. This crap that these activists now is talking about, all these activists now are frauds. All these activists now are frauds. They're all frauds. They ain't fight for nothing. They trying to make it seem like they doing the same work Jesse and Martin did. Sean King and D. Ray or whatever. My son and all these people try to act like they doing the same exact thing that they gonna try to spin it. So like 20 years from now, the next kids, my kids and your kids as little babies now, they gonna grow up thinking that these activists nowadays, Tamika Mallory and all them, actually overcame something. That's the saddest part about it. They're gonna be teaching about them in school book. T.I. and Killer Mike gonna be on the same level as Martin Luther King. There's a crackhead got killed by a cop. Well, crackhead died of a fentanyl overdose while he was being restrained by a cop.
Stop being important and begin to embrace each other.
Well, his comments were directed towards Friday's 6-hour-long interrogation of Superintendent Brown by the Chicago City Council.
On that responsibility and that obligation to make sure that we are programmatically reaching out and providing more support to the victims, the survivors, and the witnesses, and we will do that.
Details to come in the days ahead, the mayor said. She and Police Superintendent Brown have been critical of others in the criminal justice system. State's Attorney Kim Foxx tweeted a reply late today, finger-pointing instead of talking honestly about the violence plaguing our city doesn't help bring solutions that make our communities safer. It starts with apprehending those who pull the trigger. Police must make an arrest before a case reaches the courthouse door.
Do you understand how much gall and gumption and audacity this woman, Kim Foxx, has? I mean, there ain't that much audacity in all of Chicago. Are you kidding me? She's the prosecutor. She's the district attorney, the state's attorney, the highest lawyer in the land, who been letting, if you ain't, listen, I think y'all don't understand how bad she is. If you kill somebody, you won't get 3 years tops if you're convicted. Now, yes, they have a low clearance rate in Chicago. I think it's 9%, somewhere between 9 or 12. It hovers around that area. Clearance rate is how many of the murders they have a suspect in custody or someone in charge, being charged with that murder. It's only about 9 to 12% of all the murders in Chicago either have a suspect in custody or someone who being charged, which is abysmal, okay? And that speaks to the community, not the police. Because most of these shootings lately in Chicago, they on camera. we seeing 30 people outside, 50 people right there. Nobody know nothing. But this woman, for her to come at them cops, when her, I mean, literally, like, I can't even speak on how audastic she is. Like, she got some, wow.
Police must make an arrest before a case reaches the courthouse door. A Southside alderman wants the Illinois National Guard to patrol downtown in the wake of this past weekend's unrest and violence there.
We need to bring in the National Guard to secure the perimeter of downtown and to work along with the police to free up more officers to come from downtown back into the communities.
Whoa. I distinctly remember someone being called a racist for suggesting this last year. I can't remember his name. Damn it. Skipping my mind right now. Anyway, some guy in 2017 suggested this, and they were calling him a racist. Then again in 2020 he suggested it, and they were calling him a racist. So I guess that makes this guy, since he's black, a coon, right? That makes this guy a coon, right? Think about it. If the other guy, a white guy who suggested this was a racist, then this guy's got to be a coon, right? Alderman Anthony Beale from the 9th Ward. The 9th Ward is bad everywhere. Alderman Anthony Beale. I knew this guy, Alderman Anthony Beale, from somewhere. A few years ago, Chicago City Council committee voted to remove a Trump street sign. A Chicago City Council committee unanimously voted Tuesday to remove a street sign honoring Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. So this was before he was president. They wanted to remove a street sign honoring Trump's downtown skyscraper as a response to the divisive billionaire's incendiary rhetoric and comments about the city violence. So when Trump said, if I become president, I'm bringing the National Guard to Chicago. And the city council lost their mind. It's incendiary and divisive to say that. The full city council voted. They said they will vote on the sign's removal next week. Another honorary Trump Plaza Street sign mysteriously disappeared earlier this month. Alderman Anthony Beale said, when you hit Chicago, Chicago hits back. We will get that sign down in an expedited manner. So Trump saying that, when I become president, I'm sending the National Guard into Chicago. That was a hit. And Chicago needed to hit back by removing the sign on a building he built. And it was spearheaded by Anthony Beale, who was very active in, the Democratic politics and trying to get the Democrats in the White House. So, 6 months into the new Democratic presidential regime, I give you Chicago Alderman Anthony Beale, ladies and gentlemen.
We need to bring in the National Guard to secure the perimeter of downtown and to work along with the police to free up more officers to come from downtown back into the communities where we can help, flood the communities where the resources have been taken out of.
Asked about Alderman Beale's proposal, Mayor Lightfoot dismissed him as a critic who, quote, likes to grandstand, and she lamented that reporters even cover him at all. She added, quote, I don't have to say anything more about him. I'm political editor Mike Flannery.